I do love to coach. And every coachee I work with has wonderful talents. But often there's one issue. Sometimes I call it a veto issue. And this veto issue, sadly and unfortunately, often can block the full use of every other gift that they have. And so to have the privilege of partnering with highly gifted and highly committed people and help them deal with perhaps one thing that will then unleash all of their gifts is an amazing privilege. And almost always I find, while a presenting issue might be some bad cognitions, some false maps about what makes humans thrive, and sometimes it's bad practices. Often these false cognitions and bad practices come from some kind of fear. And to partner with these wonderful people on their journey of working with their fear, and sometimes their fear has to do, as it does with me, with actually using my gifts, ironically. So I'd like today to tell you about a coachee and a coaching experience that, especially at the start, did not go so well. Did not go so well at all. In fact, we were completely stuck. My coachee, let's call him Ravi. Now, Ravi is a very gifted person, PhD chemist, very intelligent, IQ-wise, tremendous analytical problem-solving ability, very organized, effective manager when it came to things and processes. But Ravi's only slight problem was with people. And we did a survey, and unfortunately, almost everyone on his staff was a person. So that was an issue, okay? In fact, just trying to be professionally cautious here. Almost everyone really was. And the data kept pouring in. His best people were leaving. Morale was low. Productivity was uneven and not great. And we had some good 360 performance evaluation. You know, his peers, his subordinates, his various supervisors all gave him feedback. It all pointed to a great difficulty that he had with people. I was called in to try to help. And when Ravi was presented with all this information, he said, "See, it proves that HR needs to find me better people, real grown-ups, who don't need coddling and hand-holding, and then we'd be good to go." According to Ravi, there was no crying in business, okay? So I tried various things over a couple of sessions. And usually, by the way, I mean, any decent coach, because most of the people want to do this, the progress is immediate and very gratifying. We were dead in the water, and I was close to admitting defeat, which I didn't like to do, you know, for their sake and my sake. And I happened to see several pictures of his family on his desk. So I said, "Ravi, are these pictures of your family?" And his first reaction was annoyance, as in none of your business, right? But he couldn't help himself. He picked up the picture of his beloved daughter, we'll call her Sachi. He said, "This is my daughter, Sachi. Ravi, tell me about your daughter, Sachi." He became animated. He became warm. His face changed. I thought we're getting close to Ravi. I said, "Ravi, again, tell me more about her. What's she like? What are her gifts?" "Oh, Sachi has many gifts. She's very bright. She loves school. She has many friends. She loves music. She loves to read. She plays the cello." I said, "Ravi, what are your dreams for her?" He said, "Well, I have many dreams for her. She's really good at science and math and at chemistry, and I wouldn't mind it if she became a chemist, but really that's up to her. I want whatever will help her be happy and thrive." So Ravi, let's do an experiment here. Do you know where she's going to college at this point? She was beginning high school. No, he talked about several. Ravi, let's suppose she goes to college and she'll do really well, and she starts looking for jobs. She gets an offer and accepts an offer at a really good chemical firm, let's say, if that's what she wants to do. And it's Monday morning, and you actually text her. You don't want to be overbearing, but you say, you know, Sachi, have a great day. And she goes for her first day. She's scared, but she's well prepared, and she's about ready to meet her first boss. I think you see this coming. Ravi, would you like your precious Sachi to work for her first boss for someone exactly like you, who treats her like you treat your people, who view her like you view your people? Would you? No. I could barely hear it. Why not, Ravi? He just shrugged. He said, Ravi, you've been pretty darn selfish, haven't you? Silence. I'll never forget it. He said, Ted, I get it. I just never looked at it that way. I just never looked at it that way. Yes, we're all humans, I guess. So we talked a little bit, but not a whole lot. Ravi became to understand that the people who worked for him were someone's precious daughters and sons, worthy of cherishing and of careful treatment as much as his beloved Sachi. So I didn't have to do much more with him. I didn't have to say much more. Sachi is very smart, highly committed, and he's a really good man at heart. And so on his own, Ravi started to employ some of the most advanced and complex management and leadership techniques known, such as he began to say good morning to his people. But he meant it. He began to say please. He began to say thank you. He began to encourage his people. He began to say, how can I help? Even when someone would come up to him having failed to solve a problem that they were supposed to solve, he would catch himself. And now and then he would just feel the picture of his daughter, Sachi, in his pocket to remind him who these people really were. And he would say, you know what? I know you've done your best, you've tried hard. Why don't we see if we can solve it together? Okay? He actually would start to ask them things like, what are your goals and dreams? Is there any way that I and this company can help you reach them? And he was rather amazed how they responded. From a business metric point of view, productivity went up. He wasn't losing key people anymore. And he was also wondering what kind of metric would measure the level of satisfaction that he found every day coming to work. He actually told me he wondered, is it against policy to enjoy your people so much? That's not some kind of harassment, is it, if you actually just enjoy hanging around with them? End of good story. Maybe not. I found that story fairly easy to tell, and it's a gratifying story. And by the way, did you notice what a great coach I was? Did you get that part? Slow start, and lucky. So would you agree with me, my friends, that if we are telling a true story, and it's a true story, about human transformation, and we find that story easy to tell, and it feeds our ego, then maybe we've gotten off track, and maybe we haven't gotten to the heart of the matter. I did get off track, and I didn't get to the heart of the matter, and I would like to, all right? So I would like for you to join me in not just a thought experiment, but a mind and heart experiment, okay? I'd like for you to take, well, I'm left-handed, and often, we left-handers, eventually we are going to revolt. I need a first follower here, but you can pick, all right, you can pick either hand, all right? Please pick a hand, and I would like for you to picture one or more people whom you cherish the most in life. all right? And by the way, it's not all of humanity. I think that's beyond the pay grade of most of us. Let's get particular. I'm putting in my hand actually 5 people. My 2 precious sons, Dan and Alex, Allegra, and her sons, Alex and Michael, okay? I'm putting those in this hand. Do you have your pictures? Okay. Other hand, this gets a little more difficult, at least for me. Other hand, I would like for you to put a very clear picture of someone who you have found it much more difficult to cherish. We have some generic lists in case you're having trouble, all right? Out of respect, I won't mention this person's name, all right, in discretion. But it's a clear person, someone who may have disappointed, betrayed. Their actions may have made it very difficult for you. Could be a team effort, my actions, their actions. But to view them as a beloved daughter and son, sister or brother, I'm finding it very difficult. I'm not feeling like a great coach. I'm feeling like a very imperfect human being. How about you? So I know that I'm going to need all the help I can get. I'm going to need help from God. I'm going to need help from you. So beloved community, I'd like to have us make a deal. How about, can we commit that we will do our very best, every opportunity we get, starting now, to remind ourselves who we really are, that each one of us here is a beloved daughter and son, sister or brother, and that all the other people we meet are too. That we will remind ourselves, we'll encourage each other, and we'll support each other to become a beloved community.